Here's my audience for the evening. I also have my 2-year-old cousin running around. I'm sorry we couldn't get a sitter. Okay. How is everybody today?
Great, how are you?
Good. I did my informational speech on Mount Washington, PA. I actually did this topic in my Impacts of Tourism class with Dr. Ryan, so I thought it was a good idea to do it for this class too. I'm going to describe the positive economic impacts and negative economic impacts, environmental impacts, and sociocultural impacts. Have any of you ever been to Mount Washington?
Me.
I haven't.
You saw the view and everything? Oh, you haven't?
I haven't.
I
Just
have.
in pictures.
Okay, then I'll explain everything. It's located right on the edge of Pittsburgh, across from the Monongahela River. Brief history of it: it used to be called Coal Hill because of the coal mines that operated there. It was back in like the 17th century. It was a big Pittsburgh steel industry spot. It made millions just through those industries. And it was named after George Washington because he once stood on that land and he mapped the city with, I think it was French Indians. Okay. The tourism product, they have a lot of famous restaurants, expensive restaurants. Probably the most famous one is the Lamont. They have weddings there, and there's one called View 21, the Bella Vista Italiano, and the Grand View Saloon in the Coal Hill Steakhouse. These are really expensive restaurants. Probably the bill would be close to $100 at either one, so I wouldn't go if you don't have that much money on you. They also have unique shopping experiences. The shops there are like local, like they don't have them anywhere else in the city or any other part of the state. For transportation, both the Liberty Tunnel and the Fort Pitt Tunnel are underneath Mount Washington. The Fort Pitt Tunnel was built in 1960 and the Liberty Tunnel was built in 1924. And thousands of cars pass through here every day to get into the city to go to work. Also, the Port Authority runs from the city to Mount Washington. And the inclines, they take tourists and commuters up and down the hill every day. So these two, the Port Authority and the inclines are big for the commuters. And also they have taxis and Ubers running through the town. The market for Mount Washington, it attracts mainly tourists who want to see a better view of the city. And the inclines are obviously popular, and they have many parks and attractions up there too. And the town is consisted of the residents and the people who live there, like in the apartments and the houses. And now we're going to get into the positive tourism impacts. The economic impacts, the attractions like the inclines are huge. The fare just to go up and down, it was $5, so that adds up obviously with all the people there. They have parking meters there. They have parking meters there, and the restaurants are big on money. And now we're going to get into the positive sociocultural impacts. Obviously the view is what gets people to go there. There's an overlook, it's called the Paul F. Jones Overlook, that attracts hundreds every weekend. They also have a free library you can go to, it's free to the public. Now the positive environmental impacts, they have many trash and recycling cans there. And they also have paintings everywhere on the fences and the buildings and the walls of everything. Now we're going to get into the negative impacts. A lot of the negative economic impacts, a lot of money is being spent on the construction of the tunnels, the inclines, and the hillside itself. In 2014, there was a big landslide there, and that cost millions just to repair. The negative sociocultural impacts, the crime rate's pretty big. There's a lot of burglary and theft and crime. And the overcrowding of the town is pretty big, especially on the weekend with the tourists. And that's annoying to the people who live there, the tourists crawling around everywhere. And the negative environmental impacts, there's litter and garbage everywhere. It's not as bad as other parts of the city, but with the trash cans and recycling cans, it's not that bad. And a lot of their roads are damaged, they need repaired, and a lot of the buildings are like rusted and they need like a new paint job. And the graffiti was a big issue too among the town. That's basically it about the impacts. Anyone have any questions? Any questions?
Go ahead, Jenna.
What presidents are on that? Do you know?
What's that?
The presidents?
What do you mean, like?
Like, wasn't there presidents on Mount? Are you talking about Mount Rushmore?
No,
Mount
Washington,
Washington.
like in Pittsburgh. You're thinking of Mount Rushmore. Any other question? That's okay.
I want to know, did you ride the incline when you was visiting?
Yes, I rode it up and down the hill. It was $5. I went with my family. Any other?
Is there any other famous people that visited there?
Actually, a lot of famous people like to eat on the restaurants up there because it's so like
It's a
unique
beautiful
with the view.
view.
Yeah, and it's expensive. So I think it was one of the presidents from the 70s ate at one of the restaurants up there. I forget which one. Any other questions?
When you get off, take the incline. Are you right there at the point where you can view Mount Washington?
Yeah.
Or do you have to walk any length of time?
The Monongahela incline is closer to the viewpoints, but the Duquesne one's a little bit to the Duquesne one's further away.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
All right, thank you
You
guys.
did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Very informative.